Happy Wednesday, Internet. Happy Wednesday, everyone. And tonight I introduce returning guest, you James 1978.
Hello there, this is James S. Crockett, you James 1978.
And another returning guest from some time back, Dr. Smith.
How you doing?
Now, today's topic is, right, here in London, and I don't know about anywhere else, it looks like they're bringing in spikes to put in doorways in order to stop homeless people sleeping there, as if that's the best possible solution to a homelessness problem. And what are you essentially saying? It reminds me of the spikes you put down on windowsills to stop pigeons. Somebody I was talking to earlier today, in fact it was Midnight Goddess, said, so treating homeless people literally like vermin then. If you scroll down on the article linked in the description, you'll see that you can vote. Is this acceptable? Is this not? Now, the majority of people, of course, say no. More than a third of people, however, do think that this is an acceptable way to treat the homeless. I'm going to hand this over to you, James.
Are there no prisons, no poorhouses? Well, let them die and thus decrease the surplus population. Jesus fucking Christ, people. For the love of the great holy donkey. You don't want homeless people sleeping in your doorways. So, what's the best possible solution? Oh yes, we'll put down spikes so that they can't possibly lay there. You know, and so, with any luck, they'll freeze to death. What Midnight Goddess said, what you have said about treating homeless people like vermin, yes, Alex. The dehumanization here is palpable. It's revolting. It is almost literally sickening. One thing I mentioned last week while I was talking to Luke, the difference between liberal or conservative, the difference when it comes to any political or social issue, the fundamental question which it all boils down to, can you look beyond yourself to see the perspective of other people, to care about other people? Do you give a shit about the people who are suffering? Or, to put it bluntly, are you a self-serving sack of dog shit? And yes, the people who are putting this down, you know, the people who are putting down these spikes, the 34% of people who agree that yes, this is totally acceptable. Oh, yes, because of all of the rationalisations we've come up with. Oh, no, they all have homes, really. Oh, no, they're all mentally ill. They're all criminals. If they're mentally ill, they need treatment. Oh, no, that's too expensive. Oh, and of course, you know, we could end the problem of homelessness tomorrow by raising taxes, but that would be socialism. You know, and you need a new zombie voice app for your iPod. Oh, yes, I am being so cynical here and so holier than thou, but Jesus fucking Christ, people. How can you possibly view this as an alternative? Businesses are the ones putting down these spikes instead of, hey, pooling their resources and creating a homeless shelter in the area. You know, it doesn't have to be fancy. These people need 4 walls, a ceiling, heating, water and mattresses or sleeping bags, something. But no, putting down these spikes is the best solution.
If you're used to sleeping in a doorway with cardboard boxes and you're lucky to have a sleeping bag, you might not even require mattresses. I mean,
as I say, a sleep something. Yeah. It reminds me of. I think it was Westminster Council a couple of years ago closed all soup kitchens in the area because they, quote, promoted homelessness. Yes, because... Yes, what incentive is there for these people to get off the streets if they can get a free meal once a day?
Well, you were as shy as ever, James.
Oh yes. I need to learn to assert myself more. I just find it so difficult to put across my opinion.
And if you're not too scared, Dr. Smith.
I got on my iPad and I was like looking at pictures of the spikes as he was speaking. I was listening to what he was saying, and it's a shame that they think they need to come to this to stop. I guess they think they're going to put the homeless people at bay by not letting them sleep in a corner or whatnot. I guess with the energy they're focusing on putting these down, I guess I just come to the conclusion of why aren't they just trying to think of ways to try and work on getting these people off the streets and into a shelter or, doing something about the problem in a more positive manner. I don't know. To me, it seems like bullshit. I haven't seen anything here in the United States like that. I lived in a town near Pittsburgh. I was over in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for close to 11 years. And, I would see homeless people frequently over there.
Yeah.
I'd see people sleeping under bridges, and I'd always feel pity for those people, and think I'd want to see them in a better situation. And when I see something like this, I'm looking at the mirror right now, and they show a picture of it's close to a doorway, like a little corner where somebody could maybe stand and have a cigarette to keep out of the downpour or rain or snow. And now there's spikes. I mean, even from just a standpoint, it's ugly, and it's an eyesore to me for one thing. And then another, to think, well, we're going to eliminate anybody standing in this corner, not just a homeless person. It's stupid. They could do something better with their time than put down spikes. And for that matter, I think anybody that's got any intelligence is just going to take, say, a pallet and throw it over it and then problem solved.
Well, yeah, I did think that there would be ways, but I suppose it's making it more difficult. I'm also wondering, is it safe? Because, people on the street fall over, children play. Is it safe for anyone, as well as being... Yes, we don't want... one of the reasons they might not want a homeless person in the doorway, although it's not going to be during business hours generally anyway, but are they saying, it's an eyesore or it will put customers off? Except you've put an eyesore there yourself. It's sort of like...
Right.
Yes, I'm going to solve the problem of the fear of fire by starting my own fire. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna... if you're finished, Dr. Smith.
No. I didn't really have much to add other than I agree with what he said, and just my add is even if you're not looking at it from a homeless standpoint, it looks stupid, and it's, to me, it's not really effective. Again, if I were a homeless person and I was in a jam and I needed some place to lay down, I'd just go around the corner, grab a pallet, throw it down, curl up in my sleeping bag and sleep.
Yeah, so it may not. It's offensive, but it may not even be effective. One thing I'll add is I think it's very indicative of the world that we're living in now, in that it's a business that makes money, trying to screw over the poorest people yet again. Let's find new ways. So I'll go round and have final Wednesday thoughts and goodbyes. So, James, your final thought and goodbye.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore, and may the blessings of the great holy donkey be upon the 64%.
And Dr. Smith, your final thought and goodbye.
I don't think that spike strip thing is going to work at all. I think it's a terrible idea, and I think that they could focus their efforts on doing something more positive rather than something negative like that.
Absolutely.
Well said. It won't work. B, the motivation is just so callous and so evil.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And on that bombshell, it's good night from me.